Coming to you live from Detroit, Michigan, USA. Welcome to another edition of In My House, Techno Music Show, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. What a full week of networking and dancing fun we had around the city of Detroit this past weekend. So tonight we've got another 411 street report from my girl PJ. She's the official, actually the out the house reporter. So she's been around, and some other birthdays and things going on downtown, uptown, and I'm gonna give you her report in a little while. Plus on tonight's show, get ready to, I am like so confused right now, sorry. I am exhausted and tired. I can't believe this. Okay, it's live. All right, I'm back. I just had to do that. Plus, on tonight's show, get ready to get deep into some full... See, John got me nervous. All this history down here. We've been talking. So we got some full, deep history that he's going to take us back and talk about the music industry as best as he can tell it. And he's going to talk about some things. He's got some... a very serious anniversary that he's getting ready to celebrate here real soon. Some travel, some other stuff going on, and John's going to share all of that with us in just a moment. Also, tonight's show is dedicated to my pink love sister, Angie. You know, hey, I got on my bracelet. We rep you very well. Thank you so much for sharing your cancer experience with us, all right? So I also want to say what's up, Vaz up, to my boy Andy Vaz over there in Cologne, Germany. So now let's get ready to experience another episode of In My House, hosted by me, T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. 88.1. You haven't walked in my shoes. I'm gonna move on. It's my life, it's my life. It's my life, it's my life. It's my life, it's my life.
low for me. It's so low for me.
Hair Wars is searching for the best. Coming Sunday, April 26, 2015. It's the Hair Wars Color Show. Short, long, and ridiculous. At the beautiful Adobe Hotel, formerly the Hyatt Regency in Dearborn. Also featuring techno and house music mixing live on stage.
For real?
Hump the Grinders Hair Wars. Sunday, April 26, 2015. Sponsored by Ampro. Exposing hair entertainment around the world.
Who's got the Out the House 411 on what's happening in all techno and house from the streets of Detroit? Who that is? That's PJ, the reporter, giving it to us, the 411, as she reports from the streets of Detroit and wherever techno and house news is happening. So here is another edition of the Out the House report with PJ. The DJ, the house head, and us. Saturday, February the 7th, we celebrated the birthday, Earth Day, of two of Detroit's most loved, Miss Iris Cole and DJ Raybone Jones at Got Mixes, located in the city's Eastern Market District. The place, an industrial warehouse, the vibe, artistic, smooth, with a sexy, classy feel. The musical host kept us on our feet all night. DJ Create Rogers led the night with infectious beats and rhythmic melodies. Mondo Blaze brought the heat to keep the party real right. Eric Johnson, DJ Taz, and Kevin Dysart played like it was their last night on Earth. And the celebrant, Raybone Jones, hit us with 3 powerful sets as only he can. Groovy house tracks and many crowd favorites. Oh yes, everyone who is someone was there. Norm, Rick, Rhyme, the list was endless. A who's who in the community, for sure. Okay, let's move from this spot to another one of Detroit's historical hot spots, where DJ Reggie Reg TM held it down all night at the New Minjo's Complex for the first of a quarterly Our House event. Yep, the party was quite the diverse spot to be for sure. Reminded me of an old school dress to sweat party. Reg was giving it to the packed to capacity dance floor, from old school funk to classic techno and house jams, and even a little bit of Detroit's famous ghetto tech. Yes, the streets are talking and the people danced. Until next time, this report is coming to you from your girl, PJ, keeping up with the 411 of everything techno and house in the city of Detroit. This show is dedicated to our pink love sister friend, Angela Patillo. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your pink love experience with us all. We love you, we appreciate you, and pink love to you forever and always. I love you, Angela, and thank you for sharing your pink love with us all. Well, all right, Jammin' John.
No,
You approve that message? Give a big sweet shout out to Angie. Say hi to Angie, man.
Angie Patillo, how are you? This show is for you.
Yes, yes. All right, John. What's happening?
Everything.
I know it's kind of cold and slickery outside. Are you ready for all this to go away now?
I can't wait. I'm sick of it. I was hoping it didn't snow at all this winter.
Oh, me
After
too.
we got last year.
Oh yeah, I thought we had enough snow to last us a lifetime.
Right.
So look, let's get into some history because me and you about to rap for a while. See, I know you know a lot of stuff before a lot of stuff was a lot of stuff. At least that's the word on the street.
Is it? Okay.
At least according to 15,000 plus, you got a lot of friends in social media. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know I had that many.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I put that up. I want to say probably, I want to think about midnight or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, literally, I was watching the numbers, and it's like well over 15,000, like almost 16,000 people have seen your face today.
Makes me feel really good.
You are popular. Well, you've been around for a while, so let's get into a little bit of let's go to the biography part. How long have you really been doing this thing called music?
Well, if we talk about professionally versus
Bedroom, bathroom,
getting myself together and practicing how to mix, I would say professionally probably 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
Probably. Yeah, 27, 30, something like that.
Something
yes.
like that. Okay. Wow.
Because actually I didn't really consider myself a professional until I started working at Cheeks.
Okay.
And that's when I blossomed. And I think it was because it was such a diverse crowd and the type of music that was out at that time, it really made me kind of like develop my skills. So.
So speaking of Cheeks, we were talking before we went live on the air, and you were really running down some Cheeks history. So kind of like take us, because that was like the spot.
Yes, it was.
Back in the day. Seriously.
In the 80s.
Yes,
In the 80s,
yes. And a lot of people don't know the background history
right.
that you were sharing with me. So can you kind of share that?
Sure.
With
Cheeks, I guess it came out in 1983, 84.
Okay.
But at that time, Cheeks was a predominantly white crowd, and the customers came from the suburbs, even though it was on 8 Mile and Schaefer, which was really weird. And it was an upscale crowd. There was an attorney who was one of the owners who would pick and choose people to come in, sort of like what Studio 54 did in New York, but on a much smaller scale in Detroit, of course. And everybody... Some people were turned away, but that's what made the club more popular because everybody wanted to come.
Right.
Just to see if they could get in. Right.
I'm getting
So it was a very successful club. At that time, of course, it was a, upscale, primarily white. And eventually, well, they also had a minority partner, Larry Harrison, who was just invested. And when the owners of Cheeks decided to move out of Detroit to another club in Pontiac, Larry Harrison and Marshall Jackson became the owners of the new Cheeks, kept the name and the brand.
I didn't even know they moved. Wow.
Yeah, they moved to Pontiac, a club called Menage.
Oh.
And Menage was like a movie house. Sort of like a movie, old movie theater.
Okay.
So for a while, it was myself and Gary. I can't remember Gary's last name. He was the first DJ at Cheeks, and we played together until that club finally opened, and then I took over. And then the crowd sort of changed. It became, more diverse culturally, and because of the reputation, still everybody wanted to come. So it was already a hit even before people started coming in.
Right.
And eventually, they hired me. I think Stacey Hill came second.
Okay.
And we worked on weekends, Friday and Saturday. Jeff Mills was hired after us. I remember when he was hired because I was myself and Larry, we were he auditioned for us.
Oh, wow.
I had never heard of Jeff Mills. I just saw a little nerdy looking dude walking in with these records. And he said he was here to audition. And we're like, okay, go to the booth and do your stuff. And he just blew us away. He was we had never seen anybody DJ like that. He was so fast. 1,000 records flying, and our mouths just dropped to the floor. And we're like, you're hired on the spot.
You want to start tonight?
Yeah. So he eventually took over Wednesday night, which became a very, very, very huge night.
Okay.
Until he started traveling, making records and traveling. I think then Al Esther came in. But that club was, if people talk about it all the time, it's sort of like what 54 was to New York, and Cheeks was that for Detroit. Progressive music was played. Eventually, this new form of music, which was techno, which we really didn't know what it was, but we were playing because it was a different sound, and so that's how it happened.
And because Cheeks was such like. It was you Detroit club. You definitely knew Cheeks for sure. So when this new music came in, because we were used to, as Hump calls it, fast funk, progressive, danceable, disco, and then all of a sudden this scratchy, grindy sound came in.
Techno.
Yeah. So how were you able to make that?
But the thing about it, early Detroit techno had soul.
True.
So that made it different, and it was a little faster than progressive music, but if you knew what you're doing, you could mix it, and I think I knew what I was doing. So it was like it only appealed to a certain crowd, and that particular crowd at that time coming to Cheeks was open to almost anything as long as it was good. The music was good, and the DJ could take you where you wanted them to go. Could take the people where you wanted them to go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that difficult. But it was a new sound. It was an underground sound, but everybody loved it immediately.
So what do you think is missing in some of today's clubs? Why are today's clubs not getting that super wow factor like Cheeks and even Studio 54 we had here?
Right, that was during the disco era,
right?
Studio 54.
Yeah,
times have changed. I mean, Detroit, to me, the club scene is different. At one time, we had clubs. You go to a different club every week, and sometimes you can go to 3 and 4 or 5 different clubs in one night.
Yeah.
I think music changed. Videos came out. Radio was very, very, very strong. It attracts people. Hip hop really,
did it in.
Yeah. Well, nothing to do it in, but it was very, very popular. Everybody loved it. So,
right.
If a club wasn't doing well, then the owners might change the format to a sound that would attract more people. So, so I think that was one of the reasons, even though there was still an underground crowd here that was still going out, but you had to know where to go. Right. So at one point in time, everybody knew Cheeks was there, the lady or whatever, and you knew where to go.
I think you almost have to know where to go today too. Probably, I'm sure some little hamlet joints all over the place. We always have those. So now let's fast forward a little bit to your connection. Oh no! Before we do that, since you have a nice 30-year history, which time period would you say is your favorite to play?
Probably, I would have to say, I don't want to seem like I'm a Cheeks fanatic, but the music, it's the music.
Okay.
That is probably my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite time.
Right.
Disco. I love disco as well. And I played all formats, all genres, R&B, hip hop. I can do it all. But that's my favorite time period.
Okay.
So it was progressive house music and then techno.
Okay. And I was talking to Piranha Head and we were talking this week, and we were talking about my relationship with Minjo's now. And we were talking about, that club circuit scene, because he mentioned all the clubs I used to hang out, Regine's and Heavens.
Piranha and I used to DJ.
Yeah. And I know that had to be a lot of fun too. And okay, that's good. So he was right. Okay, so now let's fast forward a little bit to how did you come into your relationship with Underground Resistance?
Well, I founded a music conference called the Detroit Regional Music Conference, and we had our first one in 1993. Myself, Stacey Hill, and Tyrone Bradley. And during our first, we kind of patterned our conference after the New Music Seminar in New York and the Winter Music Conference out of Florida. So we just kind of took from there and then developed this this conference. I was coming back from the New Music Seminar one year, and I was flying back by myself to Detroit. And I'm like, you know, we have so much talent in Detroit. We could use a conference just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got back to Detroit, I contacted Stacy and Tyrone. I'm like, I got this idea. You know, I think we can do this. And so they joined in with me. And so we had, so the local labels in Detroit, because we had a house section, a division, techno division, R&B division,
Mm-hmm.
and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to cover all genres. And all of the labels, primarily house, well, mostly house and techno labels, supported us.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Banks at Underground Resistance was really, really, really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they really helped us out a lot. So that's how my relationship started with
Okay.
Mike Banks.
Okay.
And we've been friends ever since. But then also when we were at the warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a live broadcast going on, Mike, Kelly Hand, Kevin Saunderson would bring white copies or
Okay.
test pressings down, hoping that I could program them in my set
Mm-hmm.
while I was playing on the radio. And I did, you know, as much as I could, because we did have a, you know, it was WJLB, you know, you had to follow the programmers, the radio
Right,
programmers'
right.
rules, but I did as much as I could. So Mike has always said, John, he said, I've never forgotten what you did for us, because you helped to expose our music in Detroit when a lot of stations weren't really playing it, unless it was on a mix show.
Right.
And that's how our relationship developed. And later on, I started doing booking and management, and I booked probably everybody from Detroit overseas, you know.
Nice.
I mean, Underground Resistance, Kevin, Derek May, Juan Atkins, DJ Assault, DJ Godfather, Stacy Pullen, Kelly Hand, Stacy, yeah, I said that. So my relationship was cemented more with Mike, and eventually I was asked to join Underground Resistance.
Nice.
So when I at that particular point in time, I was still doing booking and management as well for
Okay.
them,
Okay.
and then just started producing and blah 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 blah. The rest is history.
And there you are, and
Yes.
you are still there and getting ready to dust the furniture pretty soon, right? Getting ready for the
For a
international movement. It's now what, you know, I was down there this past year, and I mean I come down there on a regular basis just to visit, because you know me and Mike, we're like, that's
Mhm.
my brother.
Mhm.
And seeing from, you know, every day going down, you know, to the building,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden it turns into submerge. It's like,
Right.
wow, what is that? How do you interact with that many people on that big of a scale on a regular basis? Like,
What do you mean, like during movement?
yeah,
or?
during movement, because I
Well, you
mean,
get used to it. I mean, because, you know, we're so busy because we have people coming in
Yeah.
from all over the world, in particular because we're the techno fans. And for a lot of techno fans, our building, Submerge, is like Mecca.
Yes,
Because it's
it
the
is.
only building you can go into in Detroit where you can get the
get
vibe.
that, yeah.
And the music is still being made there. We have a record store there. We have a techno museum there. I have actually seen people come in and start crying.
Yeah.
Or people standing up against the wall and they can't move because they can't believe we're in Detroit. First of all, where techno was created.
Originated, yeah.
And they're just overwhelmed.
You
So it's
know,
really, really a good feeling.
I
You meet a lot of people.
last year I met during, we'll talk about Backpack, Brian Hervieux from France, Paris, France. I interviewed him on the couch
Oh,
down
Brian,
there.
right, I
Brian,
remember, yes.
Brian, you were,
Yes,
yeah.
mhm.
And I interviewed him, and the one thing he said, it was his first time in there, and he says he got goosebumps, and he said it felt like he was in a church.
Mhm.
It was amazing to him. And I hear a lot of, it's like, wow. And
It's
you know,
really,
we at home.
Right, but a lot of people, well, it's just a different experience for
Yes,
people.
it is.
Because techno in Detroit, and even maybe the United States is not as huge as it is overseas. You can go to any other country, and techno is like bam,
I
you know.
know.
So it's getting better, but yeah, we get a lot of people from all over the world, but not only during movement,
All the
throughout the
time.
year.
I know.
You know,
I know.
so
It's
a lot
always
of
busy.
interviewers. A lot of people want to do documentaries about Detroit, about the history of Detroit techno, and I also conduct a lot of the tours, and I have to give people the accurate history,
Right.
because we don't want our founders to be written out of history.
That's
because
right.
a lot of people don't know that techno was created by 4 black men.
That's
And
right.
primarily Juan Atkins, who was the godfather. So it's important that people know that, because they come in and they don't know.
They don't.
And then just to even educate them about the city of Detroit, because they come here with preconceived notions.
Oh yeah.
That they can't, don't go out after dark. My friends told me I was crazy. Don't go you're going to get killed. That type of thing. So I have to dispel a lot of myths. Now, things can happen anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that won't happen.
Right.
It doesn't happen all the time.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, they do. They only know
Yes, what
what
they hear.
media. Just
Yes.
like we only know what media shows us about them, and it's like, really, it's not like that. I live there, right down the street, or whatever. So it is a good thing that after all these years, and it's really great that you and Mike have been able to preserve the history as well as you have, because everybody else left. You guys are still right here in the city, and that's a good thing.
Still stay, but they just travel a lot. But they're based here.
No, I mean as far as like the memorabilia and a place to go, like the Motown Museum sits there.
Yes,
they all travel and go around, but you have a foundation still here
and it's
in
important.
Detroit.
It's important because techno changed the world.
Yes, it did.
So,
yes.
as we say, techno brings people together.
Yeah.
Of all races, sexual preferences. It
The
doesn't
whole
matter.
9 yards.
So
It's all about the music. That's
right.
it.
And it came from Detroit.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Whew, something we got right. So I want to ask you a question too about let me see, was it last year for the city, what's it called? Let me get it right. City Entertainment Commission.
Oh, the Detroit Entertainment
Thank
Commission.
you. I want to get it right.
Yes.
So how does that play into the entertainment? Because a lot of people want to know, what is it and what do they do? I get this question all the time. I say, well, you know what? I'm going to ask because you're there.
Yeah, I was appointed last year.
Yes,
to
last
the
year.
Entertainment Commission. And there's like maybe 10 different cities that have commissions. New York, Chicago, Nashville, a few others. And they do different things, but for us, our job is to advise City Council on anything pertaining to music that comes to the city of Detroit, or also to educate people if they want to know how to start a record label or a club, to teach them the proper channels to go through, what licenses you have to have, that type of thing. We evaluate, for instance, let's just take the auto show. And since it's an international event and they have all the cars at Cobo Hall, but why can't we put a car in a business downtown that can hold a car? So it would be throughout, downtown or wherever, not only in Cobo Hall but around, things like that.
Right.
So new ideas, and basically to evaluate and to appraise different groups on entertainment.
All right. Well, that's good to know that, because people ask all the time. I say, well, you know what I'm going to ask tonight?
Yeah, and it's evolving, because the commission was started, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because it took a while.
Wasn't Carl Craig on
Carl
one of
Craig
the
was,
originals?
yes.
Yeah.
Greg Reed.
Yep, Greg
who was
Reed.
actually the very first.
Okay.
Chuck Bennett, a few other people.
Few people, yeah. Okay.
Tom Shana for the Rooster Tail.
Right. Okay. That's good. So let's talk about let's move in through summertime in the city, and the Backpack Music Festival.
Yes. We're actually having our 10th anniversary this year. It's been 10 years.
Wow. Wow.
The SCP Backpack Music Festival, which is a fundraiser basically, because we supply backpacks and school supplies to some schools, adoption agencies, homeless shelters, and we also work with the U of M Transplant Center for Kids. And every year we go to their camp. They go to a two-week camp, I think it is. And they're on so much medication, so we give them these new backpacks that they can take their medication around when
Oh, wow.
and they're just so grateful and thankful, you know. So it's really an overwhelming experience, you
I'm
know.
sure.
And so we do that, and we have this year. Well, it's July 11th this year, and we have one of our new partners is Michigan State University's School of Music, which is right on Woodward.
Okay.
So our festival will actually be there this year, inside and outside.
Nice.
And we have a kids stage where we'll feature kids dancing, playing instruments, DJing,
Okay.
that type of thing, and along with a lot of other DJs, vendors. It's just a good time
Yeah,
to
for sure.
to come
for
out,
sure.
and also workshops, and it's a family oriented event.
Yep.
10 years, and the DJs in Detroit have been very, very, very supportive of our festival from day one.
That's good.
So,
well,
and
congratulations.
Special shout
on
out to
that.
everybody who supported us.
For sure, for
Yes.
sure, for sure. Now you're coming up on a 1-year anniversary,
Yes, I am.
and share with the listening audience what the anniversary is for those that don't know.
Yes, about a year ago on February 21st, 2014, I'll never forget it, I had a kidney transplant, a successful kidney transplant, and I'm celebrating 1 year next week. I was on dialysis for 10 years, which a lot of people didn't even know I was on dialysis. I was able to continue to do a lot of things that I was, that I could do before. I did have some challenges, but not as many as a lot of other people that I knew or saw. And one thing about any disease, you have to follow the doctor's rules and orders. If they tell you to take your medication, take it. If they tell you to change your diet, change it, and don't miss your treatments. And I try to. I'm not perfect, of course. I probably missed something, but I tried to do the right thing. And so I was just so very thankful and blessed that I was able to receive a kidney. And I'm like a totally new person. I cut off my dreadlocks
I know.
2 months ago, because when I got the kidney, it was like a new life for me. So I'm like, okay, I think it's time for these locks to go. And because they were very, very long. And
Yeah, they
people were
were.
like, what, John? I can't believe it.
I know.
And I'm like, at one time I thought I would never, ever, ever cut them off.
Because
I
the
was gonna
first
go
time
to-
I saw you, I was looking like something
Is that
missing. I know. I was like, because I know you would wear your cap sometimes. And I was like,
Right.
where the rest of you at?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's important, and especially for men,
Yeah.
if something is wrong, go to the doctor, get it checked out. Because I know when I was having symptoms, I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, this too shall pass, but it got the best of me, and I was going to a gig one night, and it took me, I was so fatigued, it took me like an hour to get from one side of the room to the other side of the room to go out the door. And I got all my records and stuff put in the car, and something told me to drive to my parents' house, and it was God who did it. And I went to the door. My father answered the door. He said, what's wrong with you? Because I said, I don't know. I don't feel right. But it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt, but I knew something was wrong. So he took me to the ER, and I was able to give him the symptoms of what I was experiencing. But that night, they had to put me on dialysis immediately, and I found out later on, had I not come that night, I probably would have died. So I'm very, very blessed and very thankful.
Yeah, me too. DJ Disc, he was on here a couple of weeks ago sharing a very similar story. We work and we move and we work and we move, and then, we just push past tired. Tired
Right.
is not going to stop me from
Right.
doing what I'm doing.
And I thought I was
you
tired
get
because I was
working-
had been working so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
DJing 3-4 nights a week and not
Yes,
getting, then doing a regular
yes.
job as well, or at Submerged, doing this and
Right.
doing that. And I just thought I was tired.
Then when you get laid out, boy, woo.
Well, your body will make you sit down.
Yeah, that's
If something's wrong, it'll happen.
That is so true. Well, I'm glad. Thank God that you are good, and
All right.
you're good now.
Yes, and I'm excited because during my anniversary, actually, I'll be in Australia.
Now let me see. You're gonna be 16 hours ahead of us,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I leave February 19th.
You're gonna lose like 2 days.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough, but I'm excited.
I'm excited
So
for
I
you.
celebrate there, and I'll celebrate when I get back.
That's what's
You know,
up.
so,
That's awesome.
yeah.
So, how can people reach you, John?
Well, Facebook
For
is
sure,
the best.
for sure.
Email.
And you play at a few places too.
Well, yeah, I play at Motor City Wine.
Yes.
I have a residency there. And there's not, like I said, there's not a whole lot of clubs in Detroit right now, so I do guest spots primarily. And I'm now, since I have a kidney, I want to play a lot more in Detroit, but also continue doing traveling as well.
Okay.
So, you know, or it's Submerged. Come down and see our museum.
Yes, please go see the museum. You will be pleasantly surprised and quite amazed at what you see if you haven't seen it yet. It's definitely, you know, you go see the Motown Museum, you got to see Submerged. It is definitely a wonderful experience, especially seeing those mother records and all. It's just, you got to go. It's just everything in there is just so amazing. And you will cry and feel chills and everything else. John, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Thank you, and best of everything to you. Stay well and pay attention to being tired, right?
Oh, yeah. I know now.
And enjoy the what do you call it? The I can't even say Australia. Right? What do they call it? Down under.
Down under.
So see, the underground is going down under.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's
speak
right.
some of their language coming back too, huh?
maybe a little.
Ride the kangaroo while you're over there and
Understand.
take a picture. Put it on social media like everybody else
Ride
does.
a kangaroo?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Now that would be a miracle, wouldn't it? All right, John. Now we're going to listen to, I got a little promo piece here. I'm going to play another one of your songs coming up. All We Need. That's what another one I dug up. You know, YouTube is a beautiful thing. I don't have to ask y'all to send me music no more. I just go find something. So we're going to listen at that, and then I'm going to be back in a few to close out the show for the evening. Thank you, John.
You're quite welcome,
Thank you
ma'am. Thanks for
so
having me.
much. We did it. You Are in My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. Live from Detroit, Michigan, USA. In my house. In my house. In my house. Hosted by T. Harlita. In my house. Hosted by T. Harlita. Hosted by T. Harlita. Well, that is our show for tonight, and thank you again to Jam and John Collins. We got to have him come back and talk about the jamming part, huh? Thank you, John, for coming on tonight. Okay, don't forget to set your electronic devices for next week when I bring back another Detroit talent. Mr. Keith Bieber will be here, and he's going to bring some of his instrumental friends along. And you don't want to miss the jam session that's going to go down in the studio next week. So until next week, next Wednesday, this is T. Carlita. I am the producer and the host of the In My House Techno and House Music Show. Have a good night and see you next week.
come a time in your life when you will ask yourself a series of questions. Am I happy with who I am?
Am I happy with who I am?
Am I happy with the people around me?
Am I happy with the people around me?
Am I happy with what I'm doing?
Am I happy with what I'm doing?
Am I happy with the way my life is going?
Am I happy with the way my life is going?
Do I have a life?
Do I have a life?
Or am I just living?
Or am I just living?
Do not let these questions restrain or trouble you. Just point yourself in the direction of your dreams. Find your strength in the sound and make your transition.
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 Make your transition.